Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. With the War Within just around the corner, I thought I would make a quick ranking video for the healing specs going into the new expansion. With the recent tank nerfs, it looks like we're going to be having to do a little bit more work to keep everyone alive, and you know that we will be blamed if anyone dies. I think this is actually going to make healing a lot more fun, and hopefully that means we'll actually be invited into dungeons, so join me as we take a look at the healings and what they're going to be ranked in the War Within. First off, we're going to be starting at number 1 with the Holy Paladin. Finally, they've been given the upgrade that they've been waiting for. Glimmer is now gone, and Holy Power spenders have been increased in their healing. Divine Favour is now part of Barrier and Prism casts. Light's Hammer and Daybreak are gone. Infusion procs from critical Holy Shocks will buff heals, reducing the mana cost of Flash of Light, increasing Holy Light by 100%, and Greater Judgment preventing an additional 100% damage to the target. The gameplay is much simpler, being efficient on spending Holy Power, then mid-maxing the use of Infusion procs, Divine Favour, and all of your other spells. Melee weaving is still a thing, and works well with the Holy Power generation. The hero talents are probably some of my favourites. The first is Herald of the Sun. It's probably the top pick for Holy Paladins. It upgrades your Word of Glory into the old Eternal Flame, whereas Lightsmith provides more DPS and a shield as a support style tree. Holy Paladin does not have the perfect talent tree, and is still full of passives which are niche, and it hasn't received a full rework. However, I don't think that is a bad thing, and is why, along with the Ret spec, I will be maining a Paladin in this expansion. By the way guys, if you're tired of grinding, then I would like to advise you to entrust it to the professionals from ungrinding.com. Ungrinding provides a large selection of games and services. Guarantee of order completion or money back. Leveling, raids, dungeons, gearing and more. Providing handmade gold only. Use promo code UNGRIND to get a 10% discount to your order. You can find a special link in the pinned comment below. I can't believe that it's finally happening, but the War Within might be the expansion where Resto Shamans can reach their full potential. Smart, subtle changes have been made to this spec, which are really good. With changes like making Downpour a part of Healing Rain, allowing you to still have this ability, but combining it with another, I think is a clever idea, and it would be good to see this happen to other spells in the future as well. The new Tide's Water passive buffs Healing Rain further, making it a potential game-changing ability when used correctly. Shamans have now received a raid buff, which kind of flips the bird to the Paladins who just lost theirs. This is Sky Fury, and put simply, it's the Wind Fury buff with extra mastery. Shamans have now also got a strong personal defensive, in the form of Stone Bulwark Totem. Changes to Spirit Link Totem and Ascendants have improved their power as well. The talent tree itself has had a lot of 2-pointer talents reduced to 1, and some key abilities have been baselined. All of these changes have made it a great group healer, which is simple to learn but difficult to master. However, it's not all sunshine. The hero talents aren't amazing. Totemic replaces Healing Rain with Surging Totem, and upgrades totems across the board, which sounds perfect for Shamans, but I feel like it just lacks in power. Farseer is a little more interesting, as it is a fun ancestral summoning spec, which gives Lava Bursts another charge and upgrades Nature's Swiftness. The hero talents for the Resto Shaman don't make it horrible to play, it just makes it a little underwhelming. I played the monk a little during Dragonflight, and it was fun. It looks like the changes to the spec in the War Within is going to make it even better, which is why it's number 3 on the list. Essence Font is now gone, one of the key abilities for monks in the past. The mix between fist weaving and casting is much clearer. The mist weaving builds are based more on talent choices. For example, you should run Tear of the Morning if using Soothing Mists, or Rising Mists if you're using Rising Sun Kicks. Most of the gameplay is staying the same, unless you're running Jadefire Stomp for the classic damage to heal conversion. A few shuffles around the talent tree have worked well, removing Cloud Focus to add Crane Style and Pulse of the Mist. The hero talents are where it gets a bit sad. Conduit of the Celestials is fun and gives you a new ability to mess around with, whereas Mastery of Harmony is just generic and passive, which personally for me makes it a little bit boring to play, but it shows good numbers, so don't count it out. I played in PvP as the Preservation Invoker for the majority of Dragonflight. It was such a fun class to play, and the abilities are unique. However, there have only been some minor improvements to the talent tree. Life Spark now increases damage, and Spatial Paradox increases range for a short time. The hero talents are the only big changes in the class. Flame Shaper gives hot gameplay via Engulf. Chrono Warding is interesting. It allows fully empowered spells to provide the user with upgraded versions of Living Flame and turns Hover into Blink, which drops speed boosts for your team. Despite not many changes coming to the Preservation Invoker, I still think the gameplay is really fun, and why change something that isn't broken? Yes, it will struggle in Mythic Plus, but I feel like this class really shines in raids and RBGs. I just won't be playing it as I practically mained it during Dragonflight, and I want to try something a little bit different. Most of the other Druid specs haven't been great whilst testing. However, the clear winner of all of the specs has to be Resto. Moonkin form shifting is no longer needed for optimal mana efficiency and damage. It streamlines gameplay, but at the cost of flap. Sorry, Twin Peak players. New talent Fluid Form will automatically shift you depending on what spell you use. For example, Shred and Rake will transform you into cat form, saving a GCD. Damage is being increased by talents, proccing Heart of the Wild once every minute with a new damage transfer effect called Dream of Cenarius, causing Wrath and Shred to transfer 150% and Starfire and Swipe 100% of their damage into healing onto a nearby ally. Tranquility has changed to an upfront heal, and rather than being cut in half in raids, it just has a reduced effectiveness beyond 5 targets. Flourish and Photosynthesis are now on a choice node, making the choice between them more important. Overall, the revamp to the class tree isn't bad, and it isn't good, it's just a bit different. The hero talents unfortunately disappoint. Keeper of the Grove? It's great for fantasy, but the treant buffs aren't really good, and Wild Walker just feels like some passive vines. However, it has got some nice bonuses for more skilled druid players. For example, Control of the Dream. It allows you to delay major cooldowns for 15 seconds after they're available, by taking that time off their cooldown with the next use. It was hard to choose between the Discipline and Holy Priest for the next slot, but I had to go with Discipline because it's so much fun. If this list was based on how fun the spec is, this would probably win. There are almost no changes to the Discipline Priest. However, there is a rework on Rapture, which makes your next 3 power word shields 80% stronger. The hero talents share the same positives from Oracle, which I'll speak about in a minute with Holy, but Void Weaver is so much fun. It upgrades Smite to Void Blast, and when Mind Blast is used, it opens up an Entropic Rift under the enemy, which can be filled with penance, and then it bursts to deal massive damage, which then gives Atonement Healing. I can't give it justice when talking about it. You have to go and give it a go when the new expansion drops. Just like the Discipline Priest, there were almost no changes to the Holy Priest since 10.2, which improved their raid healing and Mythic Plus damage. The only thing of importance that they got were their hero talents, which aren't bad. Archon increases AoE healing with repeated Halo casts, which transfer into flash heals. Oracle will take a bit to get used to. It gives you Premonition, which rotates between 3 different effects. First, cooldown reduced on your next 3 spells, a heal buff that spreads over healing, and damage reduction to the next single target cast. All 3 will proc every 3rd cast. And there we have it. All of the healers ranked from best to worst. Now, bear in mind that this is all of my opinion via testing, so I'd recommend testing these out yourself on the beta if you have access to it. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to be healing in the new expansion and what class you're going to be picking. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully after the launch of The War Within.